Have you ever wondered if the isolation you experience is really part of your spiritual awakening? Could it be that you are about to step out of this lonely stage and into something chosen? Today, we want to tell you that there are signs that this isolation is coming to an end. In this video, we will reveal 12 clear signs that indicate that your isolation is ending, and that you are preparing for a new stage in your spiritual awakening. Isolation, although painful, is an essential stage for the elect. During this time, you have grown, healed, and deepened your connection to yourself and the universe. But there comes a point when the universe pushes you to step outside, to reconnect with those who are aligned with your new energy and purpose. Do you feel like something is changing? That the doors are opening for you? If so, you may be experiencing the end of this stage of isolation, and the signs we will share with you today will be key to understanding this process. Stay with us until the end, because this information can mark a before and after in your spiritual path. These signs could be the confirmation you need to understand the next step in your spiritual evolution. Isolation is a common experience among the chosen ones during their spiritual awakening process. It is not a punishment or a mistake along the way, but an essential phase that many must go through in order to evolve spiritually. This isolation occurs because, as you raise your level of consciousness, your energetic vibration changes. The people, situations, and habits that once resonated with you begin to fade, and this can feel like bewilderment or a drastic break with the outside world. During spiritual awakening, the chosen ones find that they need to temporarily withdraw from their usual surroundings to listen to their inner voice and reconnect with their true essence. This distancing may seem harsh or incomprehensible to those who. This process of isolation can feel like a deep, almost crushing loneliness. The chosen ones often experience a disconnection from people and situations that were previously part of their everyday lives. Relationships with friends, family, or peers may seem cold or distant, and the feeling of being out of place in the world intensifies. It is common that during this stage, the chosen ones feel that no one really understands them, even if they are surrounded by people. Thoughts of doubt and misunderstanding may arise, wondering if this whole process has a real purpose or if they are simply losing their way. Pauses in personal relationships are another significant aspect, as many connections can seem artificial or forced when the chosen one is in the middle of their growth process. However, this isolation has a deep purpose. It is a stage of spiritual incubation, where the soul is purified, strengthened, and realigns with its divine essence. During this time, the elect have the opportunity to free themselves from external expectations, toxic influences, and worldly distractions. It is a time to look within, embrace introspection, and deepen your connection to the divine. This temporary retreat is what allows the chosen one to emerge with a clearer vision of their purpose on this plane. It is a preparation for what is to come, a reconnection with the purest spiritual truth, and an invitation to align with the higher energies that will guide your path forward. Sign 1. You begin to reconnect with like-minded people. You feel a new energy that attracts people with similar values and paths to yours. One of the first signs that the isolation of a chosen one is coming to an end is the reconnection with people who share similar values and frequencies. After a long period of solitude, introspection, and transformation, a new energy begins to emerge in your life that acts as a magnet to attract individuals who vibrate at the same frequency as you. This energy is the result of your spiritual growth and the alignment of your being with your divine purpose. When you're in isolation, your vibration changes dramatically. You no longer resonate with the people or situations that were part of your life before the spiritual awakening, causing many relationships to drift away or break up. Although this process can be painful, it is necessary to allow your energy to purify and rise. As you come out of this period, your new vibration begins to attract those who share a similar path. This energetic shift is subtle yet powerful. It begins with a deep inner transformation, where you align with your highest truth and get rid of energies or relationships that no longer serve you. As you connect more with your authentic self, your energy field changes and begins to emit a higher frequency that attracts people who are also aligned with their own spiritual truth. These people can show up in unexpected ways. Maybe you meet someone in a seemingly trivial conversation, and suddenly you feel a deep connection, as if you've met that person in another life. Or perhaps a relationship from the past that seemed to have faded away resurfaces, but this time with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. These connections are not accidental, they are part of the divine design, and they are aligned with the expansion phase you are in. What sets these new people in your life apart is that they are not simply superficial acquaintances. These connections are based on shared values and a similar spiritual purpose. These people have also gone through their own process of awakening and isolation, which allows them to deeply understand what they have experienced. You don't need to explain or justify yourself, they already understand, because they are in a similar vibration. In this new phase, the relationships that emerge are authentic and full of purpose. The conversations don't revolve around trivia, but about deep topics like spiritual evolution, emotional healing, and purpose in life. You feel like you're finally surrounded by people who truly see you, not just for what you do, but for who you are in essence. This is a significant change after a period where you might have felt like no one understood your path or your experiences. Reconnecting with like-minded people not only marks the end of your isolation, but it's also a sign that you're ready to expand and fulfill your spiritual mission with support and collaboration. These people reflect aspects of yourself that you have already developed, but they also present you with new perspectives and tools to continue growing. The importance of these new connections lies in the fact that they are mirrors of your evolution. They allow you to see how far you've come in your spiritual process, and they give you the opportunity to share your learnings. Moreover, these relationships are not simply emotional support, but also spiritual support. They encourage you to continue to deepen your practice, offer you new tools for your growth, and most importantly, remind you that you are not alone on this path. As these new relationships solidify, you begin to notice that they are not only people who accompany you along the way, but also grow with you. Together, they form a spiritual community in which each individual contributes to the expansion of the other. Conversations, joint meditations, and the exchange of ideas enrich everyone involved, creating a circle of mutual support that strengthens their individual and collective purpose. These types of connections are critical to the next level of your spiritual evolution. While isolation was crucial to your inner growth, now is the time to expand that energy into the outside world. These relationships will allow you to manifest your spiritual mission on a broader scale, with the support and guidance of those who share your vision and purpose. Reconnecting with like-minded people is a clear sign that your isolation is coming to an end. These relationships are the result of your energetic shift and reflect your being's alignment with its divine purpose. Through them, you will not only find companionship and understanding, but you will also discover new opportunities to expand your consciousness and manifest your spiritual mission. In this new phase, surrounding yourself with people who share your vibration will allow you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are no longer walking alone. Sign 2. You feel an urge to share your knowledge. The desire to pass on what you've learned intensifies. One of the clearest signs that your isolation is coming to an end is the growing desire to share what you have learned during your spiritual awakening process. After a period of deep introspection, in which you have gained a greater understanding of yourself and the universe, an inner need arises to pass on your knowledge. This urgency is not simply a desire to speak, but a driving force born of the certainty that what you have lived and understood can be useful to others. During the process of isolation, the chosen ones go through experiences that allow them to heal, release emotional blockages, and tune into their highest purpose. When you leave this phase, the chosen one is no longer the same person as before. It has evolved, and that evolution brings with it a wisdom that needs to be shared. This urge to pass on what you have learned is the manifestation of the inner teacher that has awakened in you. The knowledge gained during isolation is not solely for your own benefit. The purpose of spiritual wisdom is to guide, inspire, and uplift others. So when you feel this need to share, it's a sign that you've already integrated your inner lessons and are ready to give that knowledge back to the world. It's as if the universe is pushing you to be a source of light for those who are still on their path to awakening. This desire to share is intensified because it is part of your spiritual mission. Isolation has prepared you to be a channel of teaching and guidance for others, and you now feel that your voice has a greater purpose. The urge to speak and teach does not come from a place of ego, but from a deep sense of service. You understand that by sharing what you've learned, you can help others avoid certain obstacles or speed up their own awakening process. It is common that, during this phase, the chosen ones experience a sense of responsibility towards others. You begin to see that your personal experience is only one part of a much bigger picture. The lessons you've learned can be key for others to find their way or overcome similar challenges. This desire for service is what differentiates the chosen ones who have completed their phase of isolation. They no longer seek only their own growth, but the well-being of the community. This desire to pass on what you have learned can manifest itself in many ways. Some people feel called to teach, whether through workshops, classes, or mentoring. Others may feel the urgency to write a book, create content on social media, or even start a YouTube channel where you can reach a wider audience. The important thing is to recognize that this impulse should not be ignored. It is time to find the way that will best allow you to share your wisdom with the world. How you choose to share isn't as important as how you do it. When you share your knowledge, you not only help others, but you also continue to grow. Teaching is a two-way process in which you learn as much as the one who receives. In addition, every time you share, the universe provides you with new ideas, greater clarity, and new opportunities to continue developing. What you may not imagine is the profound impact that sharing what you've learned can have. Often, a single piece of advice, reflection, or story can completely change the perspective of someone who is going through a difficult time. Your experience is unique, but the lessons you have gained are universal, and by passing them on, you become a beacon of light for others who are searching for answers. Sharing your knowledge also has a multiplier effect. The people who receive your teachings can, in turn, share them with others. In this way, your wisdom not only impacts those who are directly in your circle, but can expand to a much wider audience, creating a network of spiritual transformation. You may feel some resistance or fear of being judged by others at first when sharing your experiences and knowledge. This fear is natural, but remember that what you are offering is not for everyone, but for those who are ready to receive it. Not everyone will understand your path, and that's okay. The important thing is that you move forward with the certainty that what you have to share can make a meaningful difference in the lives of those who are ready to listen. Feeling the urge to share your knowledge is a clear sign that you have completed a crucial phase of your spiritual awakening. You are ready to come out of isolation and offer the world the lessons and wisdom you have acquired. By doing so, you not only continue your own growth, but you also become a channel of light for those who need guidance in their own process. Trust that this urgency is a divine call, and respond to it with an open heart and a willingness to serve. Sign 3. Your energy is aligning. You notice an inner balance that was previously unattainable. One of the most powerful signs that your isolation is coming to an end is the sense of inner balance that is beginning to manifest in your life. During the process of spiritual awakening, it is common for personal energy to feel unbalanced, as going through profound changes involves getting rid of old patterns, beliefs, and energies that no longer serve you. However, Once that process of purification and transformation has reached a crucial point, you will notice that your energy begins to align in a way that previously seemed unattainable. Before reaching this balance, many chosen ones go through moments of emotional, mental, and spiritual chaos. This chaos is part of the awakening process, as your being is recalibrating to align with its highest truth. During isolation, you may have felt that your energy was scattered, as if you were constantly dealing with intense emotions, conflicting thoughts, or difficult situations that seem to have no solution. This is a period of deconstruction in which everything that is not aligned with your authentic self comes to the surface to be transformed or released. But, after this period of chaos, a sense of calm begins to emerge. It's as if, all of a sudden, everything falls into place. Extreme emotions are balanced, your mind is cleared, and energy that once seemed chaotic now flows smoothly and steadily. This is the sign that your energy has aligned with your true spiritual purpose and essence. This inner balance manifests as a deep sense of peace and stability. You no longer feel swept up in external circumstances or the emotional ups and downs that once seemed to dominate you. Instead, you feel like you've reconnected with your center, that place within you where you reside in calm, regardless of what's going on around you. By being aligned with your energy, you feel a stronger connection to your intuition and your higher self. Decisions that once seemed difficult to make now flow naturally, as you are attuned to what is best for you and your spiritual path. This alignment gives you a clarity that you didn't have before, allowing you to see things from a higher, detached perspective. One of the most important aspects of this new inner balance is the harmony you find between giving and receiving. Prior to this alignment, you may have felt unbalanced in your relationships, at work, or even in your daily life, either by giving too much of yourself or, on the contrary, by closing yourself off from receiving what others offered you. Now, with your energy aligned, you begin to understand that true balance resides in a dance between giving and receiving. You feel that it is no longer necessary to sacrifice excessively or feel guilty about receiving. This balance allows you to establish healthier, more harmonious relationships, both with yourself and with others. You also realize that receiving is an essential part of the process of spiritual growth and abundance. This inner balance is not only felt within you, but is also reflected in your outer life. You notice that as your energy aligns, things begin to flow more easily in your environment. Opportunities that once seemed elusive now present themselves effortlessly, and relationships begin to improve significantly. Even in situations that would have previously caused stress or anxiety, you now feel able to approach them calmly and clearly. This balance is also reflected in your physical and mental health. By being in alignment with your energy, your body responds positively, which translates into increased vitality, better habits, and greater overall well-being. You're also likely to experience a greater state of gratitude, as you realize how important this balance is to your happiness and inner peace. One of the key factors in maintaining this balance is the practice of meditation and constant connection with your spiritual self. Through meditation, you can continue to tune into your energy and keep it aligned with your purpose. Meditation not only helps you find peace in the present moment, but it also allows you to cleanse and renew your energy, ensuring that you continue to vibrate in harmony. In addition, the connection with your higher self and with divine energy is essential to maintain this alignment. Whether through prayer, contemplation, or connecting with nature, these practices help you remember your place in the universe and stay in tune with the source of all energy. When you notice that your energy is aligning, it is a powerful sign that the isolation period is coming to an end. You have reached a new level of inner balance that once seemed unattainable, and now you are ready to manifest this balance in all areas of your life. This alignment is a blessing, as it allows you to navigate life with greater ease, clarity, and peace. As you continue to move forward on your spiritual path, This inner balance will serve as a solid foundation for you to face any challenge with grace and confidence. Sign 4. Obstacles dissipate. Difficulties that once isolated you seem to be resolved. One of the clearest signs that your isolation is ending is when the obstacles that once kept you separate from the world begin to dissipate. During the process of spiritual awakening, many chosen ones face seemingly insurmountable challenges. These can manifest themselves in different areas of life, personal relationships, career, finances, or even in one's own mental and emotional health. These obstacles, which at the time seem gigantic and overwhelming, begin to resolve in an almost magical way, indicating that you have reached a new level of awareness and alignment. It's important to understand that these challenges weren't there to punish you, but to teach you. On many occasions, the obstacles we face are disguised lessons that the universe presents to us to help us grow spiritually. During your isolation, you have likely felt trapped or blocked in various areas of your life, which led you to delve into your inner self and seek solutions beyond the material. Isolation, in this context, becomes a tool for transformation. It forces you to look within, to recognize the patterns that are creating those obstacles and to work on them. It is a stage of purification, in which you are confronted with your shadows and the non-aligned energies that would otherwise continue to hold back your evolution. The fact that obstacles begin to dissipate means that you have already integrated the necessary lessons and that you have cleared the energetic blockages that were previously holding you back. When obstacles begin to dissipate, you feel a deep relief. Difficulties that once seemed immovable begin to be resolved, sometimes without you making any conscious effort. This is a clear sign that you have reached a level of energetic alignment where you are no longer creating resistance in your life. You've learned to let go of control and trust that the universe is leading you to the best possible outcome. Relief also comes from the feeling that you're no longer alone in your struggle. As the obstacles disappear, you begin to notice new opportunities and people popping up to support you on your way. This is the result of the renewed energy you are emitting. By being aligned with your spiritual purpose, the universe responds to that positive vibration, attracting more fluid circumstances and like-minded people to your new frequency. Throughout your isolation, you have done significant inner work. You've faced your fears, insecurities, and limiting patterns. You have made the effort to heal emotional wounds, release past traumas, and change negative beliefs that were blocking your progress. The fact that obstacles are dissipating is an acknowledgement that this inner work has been effective. This release process is not instantaneous. Often, the chosen ones feel like they are taking steps backwards when in reality they are clearing the way forward. As you work on yourself, external blockages begin to crumble. It's a process that requires patience, but once you get to the point where the obstacles dissipate, you understand the value of all the effort and pain you've endured. What once seemed impossible is now resolved with grace and ease. Another key factor in dissolving obstacles is the spiritual perspective you have developed during your isolation. As you awaken spiritually, you begin to see challenges in a new light. Instead of perceiving obstacles as problems that you must solve at all costs, you see them as opportunities to grow and evolve. This new perspective allows you to face any difficulty with an open mind and a calm heart, knowing that everything has a greater purpose. The energetic alignment you've achieved helps you maintain this perspective, even when things don't go as you expected. You understand that by being in tune with the universe, everything happens at the perfect time and for the right reason. This confidence allows you to stay calm, even when obstacles persist for a while longer. You know that, in the end, everything will be resolved in the best possible way. Once the obstacles are gone, you enter a state of flow. Things start to happen effortlessly, and doors that once seemed closed suddenly open. This is an indication that you are completely aligned with the universal flow. You are no longer fighting against the current, but allowing the energy to flow through you and around you. The opportunities, connections, and resources you need to move forward appear at just the right time, and everything seems to fall into place perfectly. This flow is one of the greatest rewards of spiritual awakening. Having gone through isolation and facing your shadows, you can now move through life with a sense of lightness and inner peace. Obstacles no longer hold you back, because you have learned to navigate them with confidence and wisdom. When the obstacles that kept you isolated begin to dissipate, it's a clear sign that you're moving into a new chapter on your spiritual path. You've learned the necessary lessons and released the blockages that were holding you stuck. Now, you are ready to move more fluidly, attracting new opportunities and relationships that are in alignment with your highest purpose. This sense of relief and peace is a reward for all the inner work you have done, and prepares you for a future full of possibilities and spiritual growth. Sign 5. Find clarity in your purpose. You have a clearer vision of your mission in this plane. One of the most significant signs that your spiritual isolation is coming to an end is the moment when you begin to find clarity in your purpose. This process of spiritual awakening is a deeply personal journey that can often seem confusing and daunting. However, as you immerse yourself in your own essence and connect with your authentic self, you begin to experience a sharper vision of the mission you have come to fulfill on this plane. During the isolation period, it is common for the chosen ones to question their purpose. Solitude, though difficult, becomes an opportunity to explore these fundamental questions. You are faced with the need to find answers that, in the midst of the noise of the world, may have been hidden. In this state of introspection, you begin to shed external expectations and other people's opinions, which allows you to get closer to your true essence. In this phase, you're likely to feel confusion or uncertainty about what your role is in the world. However, every moment of reflection and every lived experience contributes to the formation of a deeper understanding of your mission. Isolation, therefore, acts as a catalyst that pushes you to look within yourself and consider what you are truly passionate about and inspires you. As you continue your spiritual path, there comes a time of revelation. This clarity does not always appear immediately. It is often the result of an ongoing process of self-discovery. Over time, you begin to experience epiphany moments when you understand more precisely what your purpose is in this world. It can manifest as a bright idea, a deep feeling, or even a series of coincidences pointing in a specific direction. Finding clarity in your purpose is a transformative process. At first, it may be nothing more than a hunch or a desire that you feel deep within your being. But as you work on your personal and spiritual development, this hunch grows stronger and becomes a clearer, more concrete vision. It is as if the pieces of the puzzle begin to fit together, forming a picture of what you have come to do on this plane. One of the keys to achieving this clarity is the connection with your higher self. As you move further into the spiritual path, you become more aware of your intuition and the signals that the universe sends you. This deep connection allows you to tune into your most genuine desires and opportunities that resonate with your purpose. By making this connection, you become more receptive to spiritual guidance and opportunities that come your way. Meditation, reflection, and the practice of gratitude are powerful tools that can help you strengthen this connection. As you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, you begin to better understand what really motivates you and what you want to achieve. Over time, this clarity translates into a vision of your mission in life that feels aligned with your true self. Finding clarity in your purpose also involves recognizing your passions and talents. During isolation, you may have had time to explore your interests and skills, allowing you to better understand what fulfills and motivates you. By following your passions, you're aligning your actions with your purpose, giving you a greater sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. It's crucial to remember that your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or monumental. It can be as simple as inspiring others with your positive energy, sharing your love of art, or helping those around you on their own path. Every small act of authenticity and love you share contributes to the collective fabric of humanity and the spiritual growth of all. With the clarity you found in your purpose, you can begin to visualize your mission more accurately. This vision becomes your compass, guiding you in every decision you make and every path you choose to follow. When you have a clear understanding of your purpose, life takes on new meaning, and every experience feels like a step toward fulfilling your mission. It is important to remember that this clarity is not static. As you continue to evolve and grow, your purpose can expand and transform. What initially seemed like your mission can become a part of something bigger as you go along in your spiritual journey. Be open to the evolution of your purpose and willing to adapt as you connect with new experiences and learning. Finding clarity in your purpose is a powerful indicator that your spiritual isolation is ending. Through introspection and connection with your higher self, you begin to experience a clearer vision of your mission on this plane. This clarity provides you with direction, motivation, and a sense of meaning, transforming your life into an adventure filled with purpose and passion. As you move forward, remember that your journey is unique and that every step you take brings you closer to the realization of your spiritual mission. Signal 6. You receive signals from the universe. Coincidences and synchronicities indicate that you are on the right path. One of the most fascinating and eye-opening aspects of the spiritual journey is the way the universe communicates with you. As you move forward in your awakening, you will begin to notice an increase in coincidences and synchronicities in your life. These signs, which often present themselves in surprising and subtle ways, are clear indications that you're on the right track. But what do these coincidences really mean, and how can you interpret them? Signs from the universe can manifest themselves in a variety of ways. They may appear as repeated numbers, unexpected encounters with people who bring valuable lessons, or situations that seem to align perfectly with your intentions and desires. These experiences may seem like mere coincidences, but when you start paying attention, you realize there's an underlying pattern. It's as if the universe is trying to guide and support you on your path to self-realization. The concept of synchronicity, introduced by psychologist Carl Jung, refers to the occurrence of events that are significantly related, even though they do not have a direct causal connection. These experiences are much more than just coincidences. They are moments of alignment that show you that you are heading in the right direction. Synchronicity can serve as a reminder that you are part of a greater whole and that there is a force beyond you that accompanies you on your journey. As you begin to receive these signals, it is crucial that you develop the ability to interpret them. Pay attention to your instincts and your emotions at the moment you experience these coincidences. Often, you'll feel a strong emotional resonance when these signs come up. It can be a sense of wonder, recognition, or a deep connection to the message you're receiving. A common example of a sign is the repetition of a number, such as 1111. When you see this number in different contexts, it can be a reminder that you are aligned with your purpose and that it is a good time to manifest your intentions. Another example could be unexpectedly meeting someone who shares your interests or aspirations. This can indicate that you are on the right path and that you should continue to explore that connection. In order to capture and understand these signs, it is essential to cultivate a mindfulness practice. Meditation and mindful reflection can help you tune into your surroundings and become more receptive to the subtleties of the universe. Through these practices, you will learn to observe not only your thoughts and emotions, but also the experiences around you. By doing so, you'll be able to identify patterns and signals that might have gone unnoticed in a state of distraction. It's essential to remember that these signs aren't fixed prescriptions for what you should do, rather, they act as guides. They indicate to you that you are in tune with your essence and that you are moving forward on the path of your spiritual growth. As the signs intensify, you'll likely feel greater confidence in your decisions and a sense of inner peace. This connection to the universe can serve as a beacon that lights your way and assures you that you are heading in the right direction. As you navigate this journey, it's also important to accept that you won't always understand the meaning of every sign right away. Sometimes, you need to take a step back and allow things to unfold before you get clarity. Patience is key in this process. Allow yourself to be guided through the flow of life, even if you feel lost or confused at times. As you become more aware of the signs of the universe, you are likely to develop a deeper relationship with the energy around you. You will begin to feel more connected to the world and to the people around you. This sense of connection can be transformative, as it reminds you that you are not alone in your journey. In each synchronicity, you can find a reminder that the universe is in constant communication with you and that support is always available. Receiving signals from the universe is a powerful indicator that your spiritual isolation is ending and that you are on the right path. These coincidences and synchronicities are not only a form of guidance, but they are also a reflection of your spiritual growth. By learning to recognize and interpret these signs, you will be able to confidently move forward on your journey, knowing that you are aligned with your purpose and with the universe around you. Allow these experiences to strengthen you and inspire you to continue exploring your spiritual path with an open and receptive heart. Sign 7. Your intuition is strengthened. You rely more on your inner guidance, which leads you to more aligned decisions. As you embark on your journey of spiritual awakening, you are likely to experience a remarkable strengthening of your intuition. This inner guidance, often described as the sixth sense, becomes clearer and more reliable, allowing you to make decisions that resonate with your true self. In this section, we'll explore how this greater connection to your intuition manifests, why it's so important, and how you can leverage it to create a life more aligned with your spiritual purpose. Intuition is that inner voice that often whispers or screams in moments of indecision. It is a form of innate knowledge that transcends logic and reason. When you begin to tune into your being more deeply, your intuition becomes sharper and clearer. Decisions that previously generated doubts or confusion become more apparent, and you feel more confident to follow what you feel in your heart. Often, this inner voice can manifest as a gut feeling, a hunch, or even a mental image that pops into your mind. For example, when considering a job opportunity or a new relationship, you might feel a strong attraction or repulsion without knowing exactly why. This is your instinct guiding you towards what is best for you. To strengthen your intuition, it's critical that you take the time to listen. In a world full of distractions and noise, it's easy to ignore that inner voice. Meditation and reflection are powerful tools that will help you connect with your intuition. By calming the mind and focusing on the present, you can begin to discern between the thoughts that come from your fears and anxieties, and those that are truly messages from your inner being. Dedicating moments of silence each day allows you to establish a deeper connection with yourself. This space of stillness is not only vital to your emotional well-being, but it also creates an environment conducive to your intuition to flourish. Start asking questions of your inner guide and pay attention to the answers that arise in the form of thoughts, images, or sensations. As you continue to practice actively listening to your intuition, you'll notice that it begins to guide you toward decisions more aligned with your purpose and values. The key here is experience. The more times you follow your intuition and see positive results, the more confidence you will gain in your ability to listen to it. Over time, you'll learn to differentiate between genuine intuition and the voices of fear or doubt. A helpful exercise is to keep an intuition journal. Write down the decisions you make based on your instincts and record the results. Not only will this allow you to see patterns in how your intuition guides you, but it will also help you cement that confidence in your inner voice. Strengthening your intuition not only has an impact on decision-making, but it also strengthens your spiritual connection. When you trust your inner guidance, you are aligning yourself with a deeper wisdom that transcends the limitations of rational thought. This connection allows you to receive information and guidance from the universe, opening the door to richer and more meaningful spiritual experiences. As your intuition sharpens, you'll likely begin to experience synchronicities, meaningful dreams, and greater clarity in your spiritual goals. All of this is an indication that you are on the right path and that your connection with the divine is strengthening. When you trust your intuition, the decisions you make tend to be more aligned with your spiritual purpose. This means that you will begin to attract opportunities, people, and experiences that resonate with your authentic self. You will no longer have to force yourself into situations that do not serve you, because you will be navigating life with an internal compass that guides you to what you really want. It's important to remember that while trusting your intuition is critical, you also need to balance it with reflection and analysis. Intuition and reason can coexist and complement each other. Ask yourself how your intuition feels about the facts and data you have. This combination will allow you to make decisions that are both emotionally and logically satisfying. Strengthening your intuition is a powerful sign that you are moving forward on your path of spiritual awakening. As you learn to trust your inner guidance more, you will experience a significant shift in the way you make decisions. Not only does this connection take you to a place of greater clarity and purpose, but it also helps you live a life more aligned with your authentic self. Allow your intuition to be your ally on this journey, and watch opportunities and experiences unfold before you that reflect your inner truth. Sign 8. Genuine connections flourish. New or renewed relationships are presented with a sense of authenticity and depth. Spiritual awakening often marks a period of significant transformation in the life of a chosen one, and one of the most notable changes is the evolution in the quality of relationships. As you move deeper into your spiritual journey, it's natural to begin to notice that the connections you form are deeper, more authentic, and more meaningful. This section explores how these new or renewed relationships manifest and why they are crucial to your personal and spiritual growth. Authenticity becomes a fundamental pillar of the relationships that flourish during this time. When you allow yourself to genuinely be yourself and step away from the masks we often wear in everyday life, you attract people who resonate with your true self. This sincerity is not only liberating, but it also lays the foundation for relationships based on honesty, respect, and mutual understanding. The relationships that emerge in this context are usually deeper. You may notice that when interacting with like-minded people, conversations flow easily, and the connection goes beyond the surface. You will share thoughts, dreams, and emotions that you may not have expressed before, creating a bond of trust and mutual support that enriches your experience. As you move forward on your spiritual path, it's common for new friendships to come into your life. These people often share similar values and perspectives, allowing them to connect on a deeper level from the start. Interactions that might have been superficial before grow into meaningful conversations that explore topics such as purpose, spirituality, and personal growth. New friendships can emerge in meditation groups, personal growth workshops, or even through online connections. This sense of community is critical for the chosen ones, as it provides a safe space to share experiences and learn from one another. As you surround yourself with people who support your journey, you'll feel more understood and validated in your experiences. It's not just about new connections, often, old relationships are also transformed. As you change and grow, you may feel the need to reconnect with friends or family members with whom you lost touch. This renewal can come about through a simple message, a phone call, or even a chance encounter. When you reconnect, you're likely to experience a new dynamic in the relationship. Relationships that used to be problematic can heal as each party becomes more aware and compassionate. The ability to see others from a new perspective allows conversations to be more open and candid, which can lead to deeper understanding and a desire to support each other in personal growth. One of the keys to genuine connections flourishing is vulnerability. When you open up to others about your struggles, hopes, and dreams, you give them permission to do the same. This reciprocity creates an environment of trust where people can be authentic and feel secure in their true nature. Vulnerability isn't always easy, but it's essential for building deep relationships. It allows you to free yourself from the fear of judgment and embrace imperfection in yourself and others. Through this openness, you can form bonds that are resilient and nurturing, able to withstand the ups and downs of life. In addition to individual relationships, it is crucial to recognize the importance of community in this process. By joining groups of people who share your interests and values, you create a sense of belonging. Not only does this help combat the loneliness that often accompanies isolation, but it also provides a space for learning and collective growth. Spiritual communities offer an environment where you can explore your beliefs and experiences without fear of judgment. In these spaces, you can find support, inspiration, and motivation to continue your spiritual journey. Sharing experiences and learning with others in an environment of respect and acceptance not only enriches your life, but also fosters genuine connection between participants. The genuine connections that blossom during your spiritual awakening are a reflection of the growth and transformation you experience. These relationships, both new and renewed, not only bring joy and satisfaction, but are also vital to your personal and spiritual evolution. By surrounding yourself with authentic and vulnerable people, you allow yourself to live a richer and more meaningful life, full of love and mutual support. Embrace these connections and allow them to guide you on your journey to fulfillment and authenticity. Sign 9. You feel less judged. You notice that external or internal criticism has less power over you. On the journey of spiritual awakening, one of the most liberating changes that the chosen ones experience is the reduction of the weight that criticism, both external and internal, exerts on them. As you move along this path, it's natural to start to feel more confident in your authenticity, and as a result, you become less susceptible to the opinion of others. This transformation can be profoundly liberating and is a clear sign of your spiritual growth. Most of us have experienced the fear of judgment from others at some point in our lives. This fear can arise from a variety of sources, such as family expectations, the opinions of friends, or even social norms. However, as you dive into your spiritual journey, you begin to realize that external criticism often reflects more on the person criticizing than it does on yourself. The empathy and understanding you develop during this process allow you to see someone else's judgment with a new perspective. You realize that criticism is simply projections of others' insecurities or fears. Recognizing this, the emotional charge that these criticisms used to carry begins to fade. You no longer feel the need to justify yourself or change yourself to please those who don't understand your path. In addition to external judgment, we also face internal criticism. These are the voices inside our heads that question our decisions, our choices, and sometimes our worth. During isolation, it's common for these voices to intensify, fueled by loneliness and introspection. However, as you move forward in your spiritual awakening, you learn to identify and challenge these inner criticisms. An essential part of this process is the practice of self-acceptance. Accepting that you are an ever-evolving being and that you are on a unique and personal journey allows you to be more compassionate with yourself. You understand that you don't need to be perfect and that making mistakes is part of being human. By cultivating this acceptance, the inner critical voice loses power, and in its place, thoughts of love and understanding of yourself arise. As you feel less judged, you allow yourself to be authentic in your expressions and actions. This authenticity connects you to your deepest essence and allows you to live without the restrictions previously imposed by external expectations. You feel free to share your ideas, feelings, and truths without fear of rejection. When you start living from a place of authenticity, you attract people who value and respect your true self. The connections you form are based on mutual acceptance and sincerity, which provides you with a supportive environment that reinforces your ability to ignore judgment. This environment becomes a refuge where you can explore your spirituality without the fear of being misunderstood. A fascinating aspect of feeling less judged is that you often begin to experience synchronicities and moments of internal validation. When you're aligned with your true self, the universe tends to respond in ways that validate your path. These synchronicities can manifest as meaningful encounters, unexpected opportunities, or even moments of inspiration that reinforce your sense of purpose. When you experience these validations, you realize that you are on the right track. Confidence in your intuition and decisions grows, and the opinion of others becomes a distant whisper compared to the powerful voice within you. You learn to trust your inner guidance and to follow your path without hesitation. As you feel that judgment has less power over you, you experience a sense of liberation. You no longer feel tied to other people's expectations and allow yourself to be who you really are. This freedom is transformative, as it allows you to live with a renewed sense of purpose and to make choices that resonate with your true essence. Reducing external and internal judgment not only improves your emotional well-being, but it also gives you the opportunity to embrace your spirituality in a more fully manner. You feel empowered to explore your path without fear and to share your light with the world. The process of feeling less judged is a powerful sign of your spiritual evolution. As you step away from criticism and embrace your authenticity, you become a freer and more empowered being. External and internal criticism lose their power, allowing you to live fully and confidently. This journey is not only liberating, but it is also an essential step towards the realization of your true self and the fulfillment of your purpose on this plane. Sign 10. Greater emotional openness. You feel more comfortable expressing your emotions authentically. On the journey of spiritual awakening, one of the most noticeable changes that the chosen ones experience is a greater emotional openness. This openness not only translates into a greater ability to express what you feel, but also a deep commitment to authenticity. As you move away from isolation, you begin to realize that true connection with others is based on the ability to be vulnerable and to share your emotions without fear. Emotional authenticity is a fundamental aspect of your spiritual growth. During isolation, you may have felt like you had to hide your emotions, fearing that others wouldn't understand them or that they would be judged. However, as you reconnect with your essence, you realize that every emotion you experience is valid and deserves to be expressed. This acceptance of your own emotions is the first step toward authenticity. When you allow yourself to be authentic in your emotional expression, you not only honor your own experiences, but you also open the door to a deeper connection with those around you. People often respond positively to authenticity, and by sharing your feelings truthfully, you create a safe space for others to feel comfortable being vulnerable as well. As your emotional openness expands, you feel less concerned about the judgment of others. This change can be liberating. Fear of judgment may have prevented you from sharing your emotions, leading you to suppress what you really feel. However, as you move forward on your spiritual path, you begin to understand that what others think of you does not define your worth. This release from the fear of judgment allows you to express yourself more freely and authentically. This process doesn't mean you stop feeling nervous or insecure when sharing your emotions. Instead, it means that you learn to recognize those feelings and act anyway. You realize that every time you open up, you're doing an act of bravery, and this, in turn, strengthens your self-confidence. Vulnerability is an essential part of emotional openness. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you are connecting with a universal human experience. We all face moments of sadness, joy, frustration, and love, and sharing these emotions allows you to build deeper bonds with others. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, it is, in fact, an act of courage that fosters authentic connections. When you express your emotions authentically, you can inspire others to do the same. By sharing your joys and challenges, you create a space where people feel comfortable sharing their own experiences. This emotional reciprocity is a crucial component of building meaningful and lasting relationships. One of the most powerful ways emotional openness can transform your life is through healing. By allowing yourself to feel and express your emotions, you begin to release the emotional burden that may have built up over the years. This healing process is essential to free you from old wounds and traumas that might have limited your spiritual growth. The simple act of talking about what you're feeling or writing about your emotions can be liberating. Therapy, art, writing, or simply sharing your thoughts with trusted friends are all effective ways to process and release emotions. As you practice this emotional openness, you become more aware of how your experiences affect your overall well-being. Increased emotional openness also has a significant impact on your relationships. As you become more authentic in your emotional expression, you'll attract people who value sincerity and vulnerability. Relationships that are based on authenticity tend to be deeper and more fulfilling, as they are built on trust and mutual understanding. Additionally, being able to express your emotions openly and honestly can help resolve conflicts and misunderstandings in your relationships. When you communicate from a place of authenticity, conversations become more meaningful and stronger connections are generated. This open communication is critical to cultivating healthy and nurturing relationships. Experiencing greater emotional openness is a powerful sign of your spiritual evolution. As you become more comfortable expressing your emotions authentically, you free yourself from the fear of judgment and allow yourself to be vulnerable. This openness not only enriches your life, but also deepens your relationships with others. Emotional authenticity becomes a bridge that connects you to your true self and allows you to live fully on this spiritual journey. The transformation that comes from emotional openness is a gift that allows you to live from the heart and experience a fuller, more meaningful life. Sign 11. You recognize your inner strength. Time in solitude has revealed your true strength, and you now feel more empowered. On the path of spiritual awakening, one of the most meaningful gifts that solitude can offer you is the opportunity to discover and recognize your inner strength. During periods of isolation, where the company of others may seem distant or even non-existent, moments of deep introspection arise. This introspection not only leads you to confront your thoughts and emotions, but it also gives you the space needed to connect with your true essence. Often, isolation is perceived as a punishment or a negative state, but in reality, it can be a blessing in disguise. Solitude allows the chosen ones to reflect on their experiences, their fears, and their desires. This process of self-exploration often leads to a revelation of the inner strength that resides in each of us. It is in these moments of stillness and reflection that you can hear the voice of your inner self, reminding you that you are stronger than you think. Solitude becomes a safe space where you can undress emotionally and explore who you really are. This journey towards self-knowledge leads you to recognize that you have overcome challenges that previously seemed insurmountable. The strength you have cultivated manifests itself in your ability to face adversity and keep going, even when circumstances seem adverse. As you get deeper into recognizing your inner strength, you begin to experience a deep sense of empowerment. You no longer rely on external validation to feel valuable. You realize that your power lies in yourself, in your decisions, and in your ability to face life with confidence. This self-confidence translates into a renewed energy that radiates from within. The empowerment that arises from this connection with your inner strength manifests itself in different aspects of your life. You're no longer afraid to voice your opinions, set healthy boundaries, or chase your dreams. You feel free to be authentic and to embrace your true passions. This freedom allows you to live in alignment with your values, which, in turn, attracts experiences and people that resonate with your newfound sense of purpose. Importantly, vulnerability, which is often associated with weakness, actually becomes a powerful vehicle for personal growth. Through loneliness, you learn to accept your imperfections and recognize that being vulnerable is part of being human. This acceptance allows you to turn your weaknesses into strengths. Every time you face your fears and embrace them, you are demonstrating a courage that empowers you even more. By recognizing your inner strength, you also become more compassionate with yourself. You give yourself permission to feel, to fail, and to learn from each experience. This compassion extends to others, allowing you to build deeper, more meaningful relationships. You understand that each person is fighting their own battles and that true strength lies in the ability to support each other in those difficult moments. Recognizing your inner strength not only transforms your perspective, but also directly impacts your everyday life. You start acting from a place of trust, which translates into decisions more aligned with your desires and aspirations. This new approach to life is reflected in your ability to take calculated risks, pursue your goals, and ultimately live a more fulfilling life. The confidence you've cultivated also affects your environment. The people around you notice this transformation. Your positive, empowered energy attracts those who value authenticity and strength. These genuine connections are a testament to your evolution and the power you have unleashed within you. Recognizing your inner strength is a critical milestone in your spiritual awakening journey. Through solitude, you have had the opportunity to explore your being and discover the strength that resides in you. This recognition not only empowers you, but also allows you to live authentically and aligned with your true desires. As you go through this journey, remember that your strength is not only manifested in moments of triumph, but also in your ability to be vulnerable and face life with courage. You are a powerful being, and this strength is a gift that you must honor and share with the world. Sign 12. You feel peace in uncertainty. Even though the future is still uncertain, there is an inner peace that sustains you. Uncertainty is a constant in life. Throughout our journey, we are faced with unfamiliar situations, unexpected changes, and difficult decisions that can lead to anxiety and fear. However, for the chosen ones in their process of spiritual awakening, there is a twist in this narrative. Inner peace becomes a beacon of hope, even in the midst of uncertainty. Uncertainty can be destabilizing, leading us to question our decisions and the direction of our lives. In a world that seems to be constantly changing, the mind can become a whirlwind of thoughts and worries. However, it is precisely in these moments of chaos that inner peace begins to blossom. This state of calm does not refer to the absence of problems, but to the ability to find stability in the midst of them. As you move forward in your spiritual awakening, you realize that the future cannot be controlled. This acceptance is a fundamental step in experiencing peace in uncertainty. Life is full of surprises and unexpected twists, and each of them brings with it opportunities for growth and learning. By embracing uncertainty, you allow yourself to let go of the desire to control every aspect of your life, which in turn frees you from the burden of anxiety. The inner peace you feel in the midst of uncertainty comes from a deep connection with yourself and the universe. This connection is cultivated through meditation, reflection, and mindfulness practice. By making time for these activities, you begin to listen to the voice of your inner wisdom. This voice guides you and reminds you that, although the future may be uncertain, you have the necessary tools to face any challenge that arises. Meditation, in particular, plays a crucial role in the search for inner peace. Through the practice of mindfulness, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without judging them. This conscious observation allows you to distance yourself from the negative narrative that your mind can create in times of uncertainty. As you become more aware of your thoughts, you become able to choose how to respond to them, which in turn gives you a sense of empowerment. As you feel this inner peace, you develop an inherent confidence in the process of life. This confidence does not imply that you do not experience fear or worry, but rather it allows you to recognize these feelings without letting them dominate you. You understand that every experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to your growth and evolution. This perspective helps you see uncertainty as an ally rather than an enemy. Life is a journey full of lessons and opportunities for transformation. By accepting that you don't have all the answers, you open yourself up to the possibility of new experiences and discoveries. This openness allows you to flow with life, rather than resist it. With every challenge you face, you become stronger and wiser, which further fuels your inner peace. An important aspect of finding peace in uncertainty is connection with others. As you surround yourself with people who share your spiritual journey, you find a sense of belonging and support. These connections remind you that you are not alone in your search for meaning and understanding. Sharing your experiences and learnings with others can be a source of comfort and strength. The spiritual community offers a safe space to explore uncertainty and its challenges. As you share your concerns and receive the wisdom of others, you realize that many are facing similar struggles. Not only does this sense of community strengthen your inner peace, but it also provides invaluable support as you navigate life's ups and downs. Feeling peace in uncertainty is a powerful indicator of your spiritual growth. By accepting that the future is uncertain and cultivating a deep connection with yourself and the universe, you allow yourself to experience a calm that sustains you through the most difficult times. This inner peace is not the absence of problems, but the ability to face life with confidence and openness. As you continue your journey, remember that uncertainty is a part of life, and it is in that space that the greatest opportunities for transformation and self-discovery are often found. The importance of the new phase. Coming out of isolation is a powerful indicator that the chosen one is ready for a new phase in their spiritual awakening. This transformation process involves letting go of old beliefs and patterns that no longer work, allowing renewed energy to flow into your life. By opening themselves to new experiences, the chosen ones begin to manifest a deeper connection to their true selves and to the world around them. With the arrival of this new phase, the relationships that emerge are more authentic and genuine. These connections are based on mutual growth, inner truth, and a shared desire to evolve. As they surround themselves with like-minded people, the chosen ones experience a sense of belonging and support, allowing them to move forward on their spiritual path with confidence. In addition, the chosen ones have a fundamental role in transforming the world. They are called to be beacons of light, guiding others through their example. The end of isolation marks the beginning of a period in which your service and contribution are needed more than ever. With a new clarity of purpose, they are ready to inspire others and help raise collective consciousness. As we come to the end of this journey, we invite the chosen ones to reflect on how each of the shared points is reflected in their lives today. Do you recognize the signs that your isolation is ending? Do you feel the urgency to share your knowledge and peace in uncertainty? Take a moment to evaluate the connections you have formed and how they have enriched your spiritual path. Remember that every sign is an opportunity to grow and advance. By embracing this new phase, you become a beacon of light for those who are also seeking their way. If you resonated with this message and want to go deeper into your spiritual path, we invite you to click on the link in the video description. We want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you experienced in your life? How have you felt about coming out of your isolation? Share your reflections in the comments, and together let's continue to light our path to awakening. If you have been inspired by this video, we invite you to subscribe to the channel, like the video and activate the notification bell so that you continue to receive more videos like this one. Thank you for being part of our Essential Vibrations community. Remember to share this message with those people you think can help them. See you in the following video.